I just heard some news about one of the major religious hypocrites, that Jimmy Swaggart is ill. I'm not happy that he's ill. I'm never happy that somebody is ill. So, my sympathies go to him and his family. But his career does show, how much of religiosity is drenched in hypocrisy. Really drenched in hypocrisy. There was the 1988 sex worker scandal, and then there was the 1991 sex worker scandal. I think that in all likelihood, I think a lot of men prefer sex workers or have a thing about sex workers. But it might be that somebody with his background would be especially likely to have a Madonna whore complex, and therefore to develop a sexual fetish around prostitutes, and he particularly seems to have gone for streetwalkers and to have tried to went after very cheap streetwalkers. From what I can hear, what I've heard, he also was not so much interested in sexual acts as he was in watching them model nude. And, but he also, according to Deborah Murphy, that was the first sex worker who was a streetwalker and whom he paid something like $20. Again, this is somebody who's made tons of money from his flock because of his getting people to tithe and send money so that he can spread the gospel. And yet he's incredibly cheap. He wants the cheapest sex worker he can get. According to her, he seemed to develop a kind of obsession with her daughter, who was 9 years old. She didn't like that. She didn't like that at all. I mean, she wasn't opposed to bringing another woman in, but she wanted it to be an adult woman. And he just showed a very perverted, sick interest in a 9-year-old. I don't know that he went any further than that. She just says that he showed an interest. Apparently it never went beyond that. But then he goes on television and weeps and says how very sorry he is, and confesses, "I have sinned," with tears streaming down his eyes, and asks that Jesus' precious blood wipe his sins out of pride. Then a few years later, he's caught again with prostitutes, and he takes a different tack. This time, instead of going on television and crying about it, he tells the people at the Assemblies of God that the Lord tells him, it's flat none of your business. So he won't, he's quite unapologetic about it. But he continues on with his career of fleecing the flock. And people continue sending him money, believing that he is, of course, a man of God. Jimmy Swaggart. What a career. What a man. What a minister.